What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Calisthenics Project. In this video today, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to do a dragon squat. The dragon squat is the ultimate variation of a squat that combines stability, flexibility, mobility, and strength. This movement involves squatting down with one leg while hooking the other leg behind your stable leg right in front of you. Now, before learning this movement, there are some prerequisites. I advise you to be able to do at least 20 bodyweight squats in a row and be able to attempt a perfect pistol squat before you attempt the dragon squat. Actually, if you can do a perfect pistol squat, you're actually not that far off from a dragon squat. You just need to know the right progressions, which I'm going to be highlighting for you. Enough chit chat, let's get started. Now, assuming you have those prerequisites down, first thing I want to talk about is mobility work. As you can see from this movement, it requires quite a bit of mobility and flexibility. So stretching and doing mobility work is going to be crucial. Some of the stretches that help me achieve this movement includes the butterfly stretch, figure 4 stretch, and the pigeon pose stretch. For mobility work, I did a lot of 90-90s along with opening the gates and closing the gates. I recommend doing some type of mobility or flexibility work every single day to achieve this movement. I also recommend strengthening your adductors. You can do this by doing adductor raises in a figure 4 position. This is because the second half of the dragon squat requires a fair amount of adductor strength. Next progression involves curtsy squats, a squat variation that involves bringing your back leg behind and crossing the midline of your body into the opposite side. This should be a pretty easy progression, as it's just meant to gauge the feeling of a full dragon squat where your back leg hooks around your standing leg. So just practice these until you can do about 10 in a row on each leg. The next progression is a little bit harder, and it's called the shrimp squat. Now, these look easy, but trust me, it is a lot harder than it looks. In fact, I'd argue that this movement is harder than a pistol squat itself. Simply bend one leg backwards and hold your foot with one of your hands and squat down until your knees touch the ground. The dragon squat includes a variation of the shrimp squat in the beginning half of the movement, so this will train the leg strength needed in order to do the full dragon squat. I would train this progression until you can comfortably do 5 repetitions on each leg. The next progression is going to be dragon squat dips. This will require an elevated surface, and you are going to be doing a curtsy squat, but instead dipping your leg down past the point of the elevated object. If this is too hard, simply go down to a lower object, and as it gets easier, raise the elevation. Make sure to train both legs and aim to be able to do 5 to 10 repetitions on each leg. Alright, so we're getting closer and closer. The next progression is going to be elevated dragon squats. On the same elevated surface, you are going to be doing some dragon squats, but at this point, you probably don't have the strength or mobility to have your leg elevated above the elevated object. So just attempt this movement with your leg below the elevated object. And as you keep practicing, you'll notice your leg go up higher and higher, getting you closer to a full dragon squat movement. Next progression is going to be some dragon squat negatives. On this progression, we're going to be back on the ground, and you will be attempting a dragon squat, but focusing on that negative motion. So squat down into a full dragon squat position, and simply just roll over and reset. As you do this movement over and over, you will slowly develop the strength and mobility needed to go back up. And the final progression, you guessed it, dragon squats. After practicing the negatives over and over, eventually you'll be able to do the full dragon squat movement. If you seem to still be struggling, that's completely okay. Just keep practicing the previous progressions, and you'll soon be able to work up to the full movement. Now, I can't emphasize how important it is to keep stretching and doing mobility work, because half of this movement stems from having good mobility and flexibility. So as you train the progressions, keep doing the stretches and mobility work as well. Well, whether you have achieved this movement or you're in the midst of the progressions, congratulations on giving yourself a new movement to work on. That is exactly my goal on this channel, which is to master your own body weight. If you found this video helpful, please do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button for me, and make sure to subscribe to see more great calisthenics content. Other than that, I hope to see you guys in another video, and most importantly, have a great rest of your day. Peace.